What's up, guys? So in this video today, what I want to talk about is why there is a mechanism inside of you, right, that's pulling you towards success, and why you need to listen to it, and who it's coming from. Like, what is that? Like, do you even know what I'm talking about? And that's a really important thing, right? I personally call it the success mechanism. It's kind of how it's referred to in the book Psycho-Cybernetics. But really, it's just that internal feeling that pulling towards you, towards a better version of yourself, right? A better version of your life. There's this higher sense of feeling inside of you that is pulling you towards whatever it may be, and it's going to be one thing at a time. It's never going to be, you may have this vision in your head of the future, but there's always going to be that one thing you need to do that's going to move you forward. And you kind of have to look at it like pulling tissues out of a tissue box, right? You pull one tissue out and then there's another one. You pull one tissue out, then there's another one. And eventually get to a point where, the box is empty, right? And do you ever actually get to that point in life? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't really fully know. But all I know is that feeling is there. And the thing is, what guys experience is they have distractions, right? They have problems. They have things that steer them away from that internal feeling inside of them, right? And this is why people have midlife crises, because they spend their whole life not listening to that voice and doing and living the way that other people want them to, that other people have imposed them to. And they get to a certain point where that voice is screaming at them so loud that they have to make a change, they have to make a shift. And you don't want to be that guy. Trust me, you don't want to be that guy that gets to that point in their life where they're like, you know what? I haven't been living for me. I've been living for someone else. I've been trying to please my parents. I've been trying to follow the system. And I like to think where I'm at in my life, I've actually listened to my own voice, almost quite courageously. And I can say that with a level of authenticity because I know it's true. Like, I have followed my own path, and I may not be all the way where I want to be just yet, but I'm on the right track. And that's the most important thing. When you know you're on the right track, there's a level of peace that you have within yourself where you're like, okay, cool, we're doing it. We're on the right path. Even though you're not quite there yet, at least you're on the right track. Because if you're on the wrong track and it's a track that's leading you somewhere you don't want to be, that's not a good place to be, right? But really what I wanted to talk about is those distractions, right? Those lower things. And I think this is where there's like a spiritual element to this whole thing, that in some cases where you have that feeling inside of you of that mechanism trying to pull you towards a better version of yourself, there are going to be many, many things and many vices and many problems that are going to try and hold you back, that are going to try and stop you from actually getting to that goal, and those things can go in a variety of different things. It can be negative people. It can be things like drugs. It could be alcohol. It could be porn. It could be any of these types of things. And really our goal is to eliminate as many of those things as we can so that we can have a much clearer, because you have to understand that that mechanism inside of you is pulling you. It's actually like a magnet. It's pulling you towards success, right? Like, it's literally taking you closer towards it. But all those vices and all those problems are just things that are essentially holding you back. They're literally attached to you and they're pulling you away from moving towards that goal. And you have to use a level of intuition. You have to use a level of internal understanding. I'm quite a spiritual kind of guy. I'm a little bit more tapped in terms of like being intuitive. I'm quite a logical person, but at the same time, I do have that kind of faith and like that trust in the process type thing. Whereas I think a lot of people have that just pure logic, hard work, which definitely can work in a lot of cases, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes you have to go with the flow. Sometimes you have to be fluid and you have to maneuver and you have to be dynamic. And a lot of people just want results now and they don't get them, right? And it's a really complicated thing. And I think that's what real success actually comes down to, is can you actually understand these things, understand these forces, how they're working, in these types of ways. So yeah, I think as a guy, it's so important to listen to that voice inside of you that's telling you to go to that thing, whatever it may be for you. It's just that one thing. You know what it is right now. It could be a relationship that's wrong. You don't know why you're in it. It could be a vice you keep doing, something you keep going out, you keep getting drunk, you keep ruining your life, you keep drinking, you keep smoking, you keep hanging out with that negative friend who doesn't actually really listen to you, or he disrespects you in some kind of way, or has some two-faced kind of energy about them, and you're like, this isn't really helping me. Like, I need to kind of keep it moving. Or if it's, I need to start that project, I need to make that phone call, whatever it may be, do that thing. It's going to make you feel a lot better, and it's going to be that one tissue out the box, and there's going to be something there next that you need to accomplish, right? But yeah, guys, that's kind of the secret, man. That's kind of one of the biggest things, I'd say. And, you know, like I always say, watching porn, going into these low vibrations takes you out of that ability to really listen to that voice. And what's going to happen is you're going to be in that low state, and it's going to be stimulating you, and you're going to be like, you're going to be numbing your reality, because the reason, a lot of times, the reasons you watch these videos and you go into these states is because you don't like your reality, and you'd much rather overstimulate yourself, numb yourself, than actually face and deal with the problem that you have. And it's only when you, and there'll be a certain point where you're consistently going back to that negative thing, that you have this, again, that feeling inside of you of like, oh no, this is wasting time. Oh no, the drug is wearing off, and now I'm realizing, shit, I'm not making progress and I'm wasting time. So you need to eliminate those things. You need to avoid them. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, especially when it comes to these negative habits. You want to try and avoid them before they get the better of you, before they let them into your mind. And you want to replace that habit with purposeful action, moving towards that goal you're trying to accomplish, right? It's not easy to do. I'm not perfect myself, as I always like to be authentic on these videos, but I really believe that you can do it. You know, I really believe that you can do it, and it's one step at a time. We live in a social media age now where everything's about, oh, you need to be a millionaire by 50, you need to be 15 years old, a multimillionaire on a yacht with 1 million followers, or you haven't succeeded. That's complete and utter bullshit. That's not what this is about, right? We're here to grow as people. Personal growth is an interesting thing, right? Because you can't always visually see. Like if I have personal growth, or if I feel like I've grown internally, you can't see that on the external. Like there's no way to measure it. And that's how people measure success. They need to see a metric. They need to see, oh, you made X amount of money, or there's no way to measure that growth, right? You can't see it, but it's only when it happens, though, what you can see is the effect that it has on your life, the ripple effect that goes into it. It may only be it may be 6 months, it may be a year until that personal growth actually shows and manifests itself, right? For people to actually appreciate you as a person, right? So that's the thing about personal development. It's not all about money. It's not all about this, not all about that. There's so much more to it. And even the people that are the hyper successful, there's going to be voids inside them. We're all humans. We're all doing the same thing. We all have the same. We're all on the same journey. Like, you know, I sound like some hippie, but it's kind of true. You know, like, and it's just about making sure you're doing the steps that you need to take. You're not looking at someone else's race and where they're running in the relay race, because they're, you know, it's like that bend on the relay. You know, it may look like they're in front of you, but they're not. Actually, we're all pretty much on the same track, and you just need to do what you need to do. Some of us we all have different paths. Like, I don't get why people don't understand this. Like, don't worry about what other people are doing. Do what you need to do. Solve the problem you need to solve. And when you get around someone and they remind you of how much you're not putting in the work, then use that as a reminder. Use that as motivation. Get back on the horse. Keep going. Don't give up. Time is on your side. We have time. We have time. I'm 23. I've been doing this crap since I was like 17 years old. That's 6 years, you know. I've got 1,000 subscribers. Not that impressive, right? But I'm still here, and there's still time. Give me 3, give me 4, give me 5 years. See where I'm at. Let's see where I'm at in 5 years' time. We'll see. We'll see. I'm pretty sure I'll be way. I'll have some cool shit going on, all right? But basically, what I'm saying is, don't spend your whole life worrying and beating yourself up, and like, just do what you got to do. Take action. Don't overthink. Take action. Take each step, and it will all come together. Timing is everything. Life is life. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be hard periods, there's going to be bad periods. You inevitably get to choose what you do. Just make the right choices, and I think you'll all just be just fine. But listen to that voice inside of you, whatever it is, whatever that next step is. Choose the righteous path, right? God, that is God talking to you. That is the universe talking to you. That is the goodness of you. That's what life, that's where the life is. It's the stuff down there you don't want to listen to. That's degeneracy. That's just your body. That's your flesh. That's your animal. That's just something it's a cup that can never be filled. You could sleep with every single woman. You could sleep with the most attractive women. You could sleep with them all. You're still going to have a void inside of you because you don't actually have a deep, meaningful connection with someone. You don't actually have a relationship or someone who respects you, takes care of you, and is in love with you. Those are the real things that are valuable in life, you know. Same with material objects. If that's what you prioritize, that's all you're never going to fill that cup. You're always going to need the next thing. It's never going to satisfy you, right? It's those deeper things that are going to actually fulfill you, and those things are communicated to you in your heart. Follow those things, right? Follow those things. I think that's important. I hope you guys have a lovely day. I hope this video was motivational. I hope it inspired you. I want to make a few more of these over the next few months. I've been a bit AFK, but I'm going to be back in the game, all right? So I'll see you soon.